Yeah, that sounds right. So then Mario was a spin-off of Donkey Kong.
Wow. Donkey Kong got the shaft on that one.
It's like Family Matters being a spin-off of that other show I've never heard of.
What?
Same thing. But the spin-off podcast, that's a later podcast.
Okay, so here we go. Donkey Kong 1981, Donkey Kong Jr. 1982, and Mario Brothers 1983.
Wow.
Okay.
Wait, Mario was in Mike Tyson's Punch-Out? What?
Yeah, he was the referee.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Duh.
Yeah, no, he wasn't someone you fight.
Oh, well then that's not... Well, is that on Wikipedia's list of crossovers? We'd better put that on there. And Mario was in Tetris? What?
On the Game Boy, yes. If you played versus mode, it was Mario versus Luigi.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I only barely know that because I
Wait,
used to play against my brother.
Did it have like a two-player mode?
Yes,
on the Game Boy?
You hooked up
with
through
the link cables?
Yes, and I played it with my brother.
That's awesome.
I have that link cable, actually. I can't use it because nobody has a Game Boy anymore, but I still have the Game Boy link cable.
I think I have one somewhere too. I'm not sure if I ever used it for anything.
Yeah, I have a working, like, old fat Game Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so we could link cable together, Michael Gray.
Awesome. I don't have Tetris, though.
Oh, well, don't worry, because I have like 3 copies of it.
Oh, that's good.
How do you not have Tetris?
Thought it came with it.
Mine came with Animaniacs.
What?
Wow! Man, did you get screwed?
Wow.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, I shouldn't apologize.
I'm assuming that the original Game Boy version of Animaniacs isn't a great game.
It's not that good either, yeah. But it's not my fault, it's Mom. She got it for me, and she went with Animaniacs instead of Tetris.
Wow, what a bundle. So what are other crossover games that people like?
Someone was talking about Mario and Sonic.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, that's a good example. Mario and Sonic at the Olympics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What a disappointment. The first time that they make a game starring Mario and Sonic and they make it Wii Sports? Where's my Mario Sonic co-op side-scrolling game?
They don't make side-scrolling games anymore.
Yeah, what is it?
They totally do.
What is a side-scrolling game in 3D?
Well, I mean, there's new Super Mario Brothers.
I think that's more of a 2D game.
No, I was just saying that it's a side-scroller that is relatively new. Also, Kirby's Epic Yarn,
which is awesome, by the way.
Have you played it?
I have it. It is brilliant. Paul, you'd like it. You can't die.
That's why I'm excited about it.
But it's still very, very fun.
I want to play through it with Lizzo sometime if I can.
I'm hesitant about that game. I don't understand the appeal of
You hate yarn?
What's the point of yarn?
Michael Gray, trust me, it is delightful.
Okay. I'm not... What exactly is Kirby? I mean, he's pink.
He's a pink thing that eats stuff.
And he doesn't do it in Kirby's Epic Yarn because it's not a Kirby game.
He whips stuff.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. There's a whole bunch of Kirby games.
Really?
Oh, yeah. I mean, he's been around since the NES.
I know, but I thought that
there's Kirby's Adventure on the NES.
Like first game for him in like 5, 6, 7 years. Because is Kirby's Air Ride or something for the GameCube, right?
There was also Kirby 64, I think.
Yeah, Kirby and the Crystal Shards, something not that great.
Kirby and the Crystal Skull?
No.
Crystal Shards. No, the Amazing Mirror. Something like that, yeah.
Amazing Mirror, but there's like the Crystal Shards on 64. Amazing Mirror for Game Boy Advance.
Indiana Jones and the
You've got Kirby's
Crystal
Dreamland
Shards.
for the Kirby's Dreamland for the Game Boy, Kirby's Adventure for the Kirby Superstar for the SNES, Kirby's Dream Land 2 for Game Boy. You have Kirby 64. I think Kirby is like the Kirby and the Crystal Shards. Kirby and the Amazing Mirror for Game Boy Advance. Kirby Superstar Ultra for DS. Kirby's Dream Course for SNES. Kirby's Air Ride for N64, I think, or maybe GameCube. I'm not sure. And Kirby's Epic Yarn. I think that's all of them.
See, that's why it's good to have Mike on the podcast, because he actually knows things.
Does he know about crossover games?
Yeah, but my question is, has Kirby done anything really noteworthy since, say, the Nintendo 64, since 3D gaming?
Except for being one of the most overused characters in Super Smash Brothers, not a whole lot. No.
Yeah, that's what I'm just. That's
Okay.
the point I was trying to make.
So is Kirby's Epic Yarn is the best Kirby game in a while?
Yes, it's an
Yeah.
excellent game all around. Not just for a Kirby game. It's excellent.
Cool.
I highly.
So has Kirby ever crossed over into any other games?
Smash Brothers.
Ah,
That's about it.
Yeah,
it
right.
didn't go anywhere.
Most crossover games, well, like, there aren't a lot of crossover games. There are just games with, like, brief cameos. Like, as we discussed in the last podcast, Samus and Link were in Super Mario RPG, briefly.
Yeah, that's a cameo, but not a crossover.
Yeah, I mean, well, like, also, Chrono Trigger had, Vix and Wedge.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
Oh, cool.
okay, in the beginning of Final Fantasy III, Vix and Wedge, like, disappear. They're transported to wherever, you don't really know what happens. And then, a couple years later, they show up randomly in the beginning of Chrono Trigger.
Wow, that's kind of awesome. I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Well, I know it was Vix and Wedge. I didn't know it was supposed to be the same people. Or are you just making that up, Jetty?
Well, I mean, but you could also say the same thing about, like, oh, well, Sid is in all of the Final Fantasies or whatever. So, like, I always imagined that they got transported through the beam in the beginning of Final Fantasy III into the world of Chrono Trigger.
I imagine that you're making this up.
No.
I always thought just Sid was a very popular name, and that's why he appears in a bunch of Final Fantasy games.
Yeah, they're not meant to be the same character, are they?
Well, because that's another question, is that, like, if you look at the NX games, Soul Blazer, Illusion of Gaia, and Terranigma, they all have Turbo the Dog, etc. Like,
Yeah, it's true.
it's a very, like, I don't think it's the same character, but it's the same name, and they briefly appear or are mentioned or whatever.
Yeah.
There's a couple other ones, I don't remember what their names were, though. I think Dr. Leo shows up.
Maybe.
I don't know. Anyway. But then, like, Breath of Fire 1 and 2, in 2, you have Blue as, like, a secret character, and she was a main character in the original game.
But again, we're talking about cameo characters. I mean, real
Yeah.
not crossover.
Full-blown crossovers. Let's see. I
Well,
believe
of
we
course,
mentioned
there's
this
the
before.
PlayStation 2 classic Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island.
I like
Don't
that
laugh,
one.
I actually beat that game.
What?
I beat that one.
Whoa. Paul Franzen beat a video game.
That's right, and I didn't even use game FAQs.
What?
Yeah, that's right.
You're making stuff up.
I swear, I did not use any FAQs or anything to beat Nicktoons Battle for Volcano Island.
Okay, so who are these characters on? Oh, okay.
I actually didn't even know who most of them were.
This is what I like, because 2 of the TV shows were canceled before the release of the game. Danny Phantom and Jimmy Neutron, both were canceled, so
I actually like those, kind of.
I kind of like them too, but then Nickelodeon did the move where they air a new episode once and never air it again because they want to cancel the series. The last season was just like, you knew they were going to cancel the show, so why did they bother even having a last season?
I kind of feel like it would have been a better game if it had older Nicktoon characters in it, like Doug and Ren and Stimpy. Doug in a beat-em-up platformer would just be wonderful.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we do have Cartoon Network Racing, which did that, which was strange.
Doug was in it?
No, but I mean, Cartoon Network Racing, which came out recently, had all these characters not from modern Cartoon Network shows, but from the shows that were airing around the same time as Dog. I mean, it starred all these characters from shows which had not been shown on Cartoon Network for like 5-6 years.
Yeah, I'm looking it up on Wikipedia now. It's like Johnny Bravo, Cow and Chicken, the Powerpuff Girls, I Am Weasel,
Wow.
kind of always hope they'll bring those shows back.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
I love
Well,
that show.
Courage the Cowardly Dog is still gets some airtime, but that's the only one.
Well, Courage is also slightly more recent.
I would have totally loved that game if it was all old Nickelodeon stuff, but I'm guessing I probably would have been the only person buying it.
See, the interesting thing, though, is that game, like, it is a crossover, and it is a video game, but it's not really a crossover video game. It's not, like, 2 existing video game series meeting each other.
It's true.
Yeah.
And there wasn't really much of a story tying them all together either. I kind of, if I remember correctly, it was just like, oh look, there's SpongeBob. He's going to join you on your adventure now. And that was the story.
That works.
Bum, ba-dum, bum.
Well, see, but Okay, so there aren't that many crossover video games, but what crossover video games do we wish there were?
That's interesting, because I seen... No, somebody else talk. I'm going to try to look up the thing I'm thinking of.
Uh-oh.
I mentioned this in a GameCola article, so I can actually look it up. This is awesome.
Oh, I think I know what you were talking about, and I was going to mention it.
Go ahead. We could be talking about different things.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking when you made a joke about Telltale making a crossover Monkey Island Day of the Tentacle game.
That'd be kind of cool.
Oh, that's not what I'm talking about.
Oh, that's not what you're talking about? Yeah. And maybe
No.
Sam and Max also, Grim Fandango. Any combination of any of those games. Why not? I mean, the gameplay would obviously be super easy to do because they're all the same exact kind of game. It's just a question of making it at all reasonable that these series would be together.
See, I end up feeling like crossover games are kind of cheap.
Why?
I'm not a fan of them usually, just because they're like, oh, hey, we'll take some of your existing characters and put them in a game together. Isn't that great? Give us money.
But it is great.
Well, see, but that's the thing, though, like...
Sometimes you gotta do it really well, otherwise it sucks.
Well, because if you look at fan fiction, like, people are sitting around writing about two different series getting together, like, constantly.
Yeah, I just read some awesome Twilight SpongeBob fan fiction the other day.
Wow.
Actually,
Now,
that sounds
hold
pretty
on a second. With fan fiction, they separate between fanfic and crossover fanfic. Those are on two different separate sections of the website.
Are you saying we're
In
using the
fact,
terminology
there's one-
improperly?
I hope it was slash fic, actually.
On Phoenix Wright, Professor Layton.
SpongeBob became a vampire, and then I think he ate Sandy.
Yes.
How do you get through the suit?
I'm not sure. I don't think they went into that.
God damn it, that's just poor writing.
They're not paying enough attention to details.
No, not at all.
Well, see, that's why there might be some concern about Professor Layton Phoenix Wright game, because it kind of seems like they're just being transported to a magical town of witches. Like, that's how they get them together.
Well, how do you think witches get people to their town?
Since when is magic in the... I guess, I don't know. Is magic in the Phoenix Wright series? I guess there's the whole...
fucking
thing with-
Magatama!
Yeah. That's mysticism. That's not magic.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's a difference.
But I would just have to
Kind
say that, you know, people like crossovers. You know, it's something that we want, and yeah, I guess it is hard to do well, but
I mean, if you pick the right series to mash together, like if you pick two series that both people would enjoy and that would actually make sense to put together, it shouldn't be super difficult. Like if it's two series that exist in the same time period that could conceivably exist in the same universe, you know, it shouldn't be that difficult.
because I guess that's why Phoenix Wright and Professor Layton seems kind of cool. Even though I've never played the games, I vaguely know about the characters, and it seems like, you know, a meeting of two dudes who would sort of, well, would they get along or will they fight with each other, you know?
Oh, the game might go into that.
Yeah, and that's what I think is cool about that.
I think it's half and half. I think the first half of the game they're going to hate each other, and then in the second half they decide to join forces and become BFFs.
Yeah.
And to fight the evil witches.
Which aren't really witches.
Aren't they witches?
I'm calling it now. They aren't witches. And they're not really in the Middle Ages. I'm
Yes,
calling it
and-
now.
and
They
everyone's
did not
a robot,
actually
right?
time travel.
Wait, was this game written by M. Night Shyamalan?
I think,
No, but-
I think Michael Gray's just trying to reference the most recent
Layton game, yeah.
late game.
The Layton game was supposed to be all about time travel, but in the end it really wasn't. They just took an elevator rather than using a time machine.
What?
Yeah, that was my reaction too.
Elevator, time machine, same difference.
What they did is they took an elevator, which took them down to the center of the earth, where somebody built an exact replica of the city of London, designed to look like it was London
That
10
is
years in the
totally
future.
plausible. What's wrong with that?
Wow.
I wanted to see actual time travel, though.
Build your own damn time machine.
Yeah, come on, Michael Gray.
No. I wanted to see actual time travel in the Layton game, which we did get to see a little bit of with
And I
Layton.
say to you, build
His
your own
girlfriend.
time machine. Don't expect Professor Layton to do it for you.
Well, I tried,
I
but it
see.
exploded.
I said good day.
Layton didn't actually build the time machine. His creepy scientist and sleepy prime minister.
Well, maybe you should wait for the crossover between Professor Layton and Time Hollow.
Yeah, I could wait for that.
Professor Layton and Back to the Future.
Whoa.
But
I don't know if the styles of those two series mesh as well together.
Here. I'll blow Paul's mind here.